Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Southbridge Hotel Conference Center for our annual Southbridge Veterans Appreciation Event. I'm going to ask you all please to rise so we can pledge the allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. While we're standing, if you can, I'd like to call Kurt Litchfield forward, please, for a prayer. Uncover.
Proud of our nation, they answered her call, defending the freedom and safety of all. On land and on sea, or in jets high above, they went out of duty in honor and love. But however they served, Lord, wherever they went, please bless them and help them to know what it meant. And help us to thank them on Veterans Day, for we owe them far more than we ever could say.
Amen. You may be seated. We are going to change the program around a little bit for today. We will have speakers come up after you've completed your lunch or thereafter. But before I go too far, I'd like to just say a few comments. One is, I wish you would join me in thanking Harrington Memorial Hospital and the Hotel Conference Center for providing us with this event. We've been doing this here, I'm going to guess, around 6-7 years. And we have a nice showing of folks today. So please join me in thanking those two organizations. And also one I forgot was Baypath for the donation of the cakes. Okay, enjoy lunch and we'll get to the program shortly thereafter. Thanks. So far, has everyone enjoyed their lunch? Hopefully. I know that dessert's on its way. I've been given the word that we want to get the program restarted once again. And I would like to take this moment to introduce our town manager, Mr. Ron St. Angelo.
Thank you, Mike, and good afternoon, everyone. I want to start off by thanking some people really quickly before I say a few words. You know, one of the things I get the honor of is coming to the microphone and be able to speak on great days like today when we recognize the great men and women who serve our country. But there's another group of people here who represent the town of Southbridge, the town council members who frankly do work, benefits all the people in the community without being paid. I first want to recognize, I would ask them just to stand quickly, but Chairman Jack Jovan. Another counselor who is a veteran himself, who is trying to reorganize and trying to create some excitement around different veteran organizations in town. A man who is truly dedicated to veterans. I wish him the very best because, quite frankly, there's so many organizations, these social organizations throughout our communities that are dying these days because people aren't getting involved. Councilor David Adams, please stand, David. You're doing a great job. Another fine gentleman who represents the town of Southbridge, John Daniels, committed to the town, is here to support veterans as well. John. And last but not least, a man who cares a great deal about the veterans community and is always out there to support them, committed to the town and working hard, Councilor Mike Marquetti. Now, last week I was sitting in my office and I got some rather bad news that came in. Our veterans agent, as you know, Mike Trumley, is standing beside me today, came in and announced his retirement. And he'll be leaving us in April. I want to thank Michael for his commitment to the veterans, not just here in Southbridge, but the Charter and the entire region. He's done a great job making sure that veterans are represented, making sure they have proper health care and representation with agencies and state. Michael, thank you for your tremendous service to the town of Southbridge. Again, today I also want to thank, I know they've been thanked already, but the Hotel Convention Center. Steve Gardner was here earlier, the manager of the facility, always goes out of his way to make sure that we have a beautiful functions going on. And the owner of this facility, Chip Norton, another gentleman who's always there to support whatever activities the town needs. I know we have the head of the Harrington Hospital. I think he's going to be saying a few words, so I'm not going to recognize him, but I want to thank the hospital for their partnership in this community. Really, what makes this town so great is that all organizations come together, work together in a fashion that it really is in the best interest of people in the town. So thank you very much, Ed, for your support of this event, for being here today. Really, my role today is the town manager of Southbridge, as I get an opportunity to thank the men and women who have served this great country. I get to speak on behalf of all the citizens of the town. I really want you to know how much we appreciate the freedoms that you have given us. We know the sacrifices that you've made and the hard work that you've done, and we know how difficult it is, sometimes even just to come home after serving your country. I've had an opportunity to talk to veterans today, and other times, and recognize the difficult times that they've had in the military and when they come back home and the struggles they go through. And each of us can honor those veterans by reaching out to somebody that we know who is a veteran who's going through tough times and lend a hand. Sometimes it's as easy as saying thank you for your service, and believe it or not, some members haven't been thanked for their service the way they should be. So take a few minutes of your time to thank those people that serve this country. If you know a veteran who's in a hospital, or maybe in a nursing home, or someplace and they're by themselves, their family may be gone, take some time to spend a few minutes and go and just say hello and talk to them a little bit about their experiences about the community. Most of all, right now, our veterans organizations are struggling. Members are getting older. As I said before, David is trying to reorganize and get young blood involved. If you're young, if you're excited, if you want to do something to help other veterans, we need to make sure that these organizations stay in place for the next veterans that need that care. So please do everything you can to get involved and be involved in making sure that all veterans have the support they need. Again, thank you for your service. And I want to add one thing. I want to thank the husbands and the wives, the mothers and the fathers, the family members who are there to have your back and are there to work for you. And while you may have served, they're right there with you every minute of the way. And a special thank you goes out to all those people who are there to support you. Thank you for your service, and we appreciate it. We love you all.
Thank you, Mrs. San Angelo. Next to come to the microphone, incidentally, Peter Durant, our state representative, was called into an emergency session later sometime this morning, and as well, Senator Fat Man was called in for a session as well. So representing Senator Fat Man this morning is Jason King.
Good afternoon. First off, I want to thank you for allowing me to be a part of today's event. My name is Jason King, and I'm Senator Ryan Fatman's legislative director. Senator Fatman wished he could be here today, but he has a hearing at the State House this afternoon that he had to be at. With the senator not being able to make it here, he asked me if I could come and share a few words on his behalf. So here I am, and I'm grateful to be here. Grateful because I have such a deep admiration for those who have served our nation. And I believe it is important that we always remember their dedication, sacrifice, and loyalty. In addition to working for Senator Fatman, I'm also a veteran myself. I served 10 years in the Army, including a tour in Iraq back in 2003. Thank you. As you all know, it's an honor and a privilege. I love America, as I know everyone here does, and we would not be here today in peace if it were not for the men and women who have so sacrificially served in places often very far away from their homes and their loved ones. It's these individuals that we look to honor today. Senator Fatman and I, and everyone here, we thank you for your service. The love for country that our veterans show is embodied in one of our nation's most enduring symbols, the Stars and Stripes, Old Glory, our nation's flag, the red, white, and blue. And these colors are very symbolic. The white represents innocence and purity. America can be very kind and a very good friend. The blue represents vigilance and perseverance. To America's enemies, don't mess with us, just don't. And finally, the red. The red in our flag represents the blood that has been shed in the defense of this nation, and is the reason why we're able to freely gather here today to honor those who are willing to give all so that those back home could continue to enjoy peace and freedom. This nation owes you a great debt, and we will all eternally be grateful for you. The individuals we are honoring today here love this nation, and today we show our love and admiration to them. I hope you all have a blessed day. Thank you.
And last but not least, we always save him for last. President and CEO of Harrington Memorial Hospital with a mouthful of cake. I'm sorry. President and CEO Ed Moore.
I ate the cake earlier, so just so he knows. No, I really think it's an honor and a privilege to be here and really give you a few remarks. And I can only say that from Harrington's perspective, we've made this a tradition, I think, for almost 5 or 6 years now. We really feel strongly that it's an opportunity for us to honor you and others. We see the crowd. Actually, I think one year we were only in one room, now we're in two. It's really grown, and we really love the opportunity to partner. I think it's important to recognize, and I can't say it better than the last two speakers, how much you've given to the country and how impressed I am when I hear the stories of people who are still in active training as well, an active military, I should say, as well. And for us as Harrington, I think it's, like Ron said, important to be part of the community. And I think from our perspective, we look for every opportunity who we can reach out to. Blaine, who's our head of marketing, we strive to be connected. And whether it's connecting with you, connecting with the local town here, other local towns, being a community hospital, I think, goes a long way to help us meet that mission as we engage others. So what I share with you today, and I'll take only a couple of minutes, I don't want to take all my time and belabor it, is Harrington's a very active community healthcare system. We try always to learn where the gaps are and what we can do to provide better quality care, because the residents and people who live and work here deserve that. And anything we can do to strive and meet those needs is our mission. And I say that in the context of everything. And I know we had a conversation earlier about services that the VA offers, but if there's emergency room services, behavioral health services, other services that we can be part of offering and you access it, please don't hesitate. And if there's a payment issue, we'll strive to find a way to make the payments work. So that's our commitment, and I want to make that clear. We have very large, strong programs around behavioral health, around substance abuse, as you may or may not know, but they're available, they're needed for everyone in these communities, and that's something we take super seriously, as well as our cancer program, etc. So I want to share that with you. The other thing I want to share with you, and please now or another time if you have any feedback, you may have heard some rumors in the community. I just want to take the opportunity while I'm here to tell you that we're in the middle of a strategic process looking at should Harrington stay independent. And that's important to recognize because it's all about, one of the key parts of this mission that we're on is all about making sure we continue to be able to provide strong, broad healthcare services for these communities. And by staying independent, it kind of sounds great, except there's a history in the state where many hospitals have stayed independent, and I think in Webster it could have been almost too long, may not be able to maintain their independence and may not be able to survive. We're not anywhere like that. We're in a strong position, so I want to share that. But while we're in that strong position, is the right time to look at what our options are, and should we be part of another system to continue to provide care for the long run in the best way possible. So we're in that discussion phase now, and I wanted to let you know that in case you've heard or haven't heard, so you won't be surprised if we, a few months down the road, make some announcements. So with that, it's a good opportunity to really enhance services, continue to build on what we've developed at Harrington, and continue to meet the needs of this community. With that, I just want to really close by saying thank you for all you've done, and Harrington is always thrilled to be able to host this and continue to do that, and thanks for the support from the local chapter. Thank you very much.
There are two other folks that I'd like to recognize. Try not to miss these two. Dave Luncheon, who actually, I think, initiated this program several years ago through Harrington Hospital. I'm sure he had to get back to work. But I want you to all join me in thanking the girl that really gets behind this thing, and I never forget her, Blaine Snare. Just one more quick comment and then I'll get out of your face. The town manager hit it right on the nose when he was talking about Southbridge Councilor Dave Adams getting involved in trying to recruit some younger people in our programs. No truer words were ever said. Veterans groups in Southbridge were down to 4. VFW, American Legion, Marine Corps League, and the VFW, which Dave has gotten put back together. It's getting tougher. We're all getting up there in age. It's getting more and more difficult to bring in the younger folks. But Dave, being a younger man himself, I think he might be able to start doing some good recruiting. And it's actually last Thursday evening, the Southbridge Veterans Council voted Dave Adams in as their new president. So that was, I think, a good move. I've been involved with the council for nearly 50 years, and I think that was a good move to bring in someone with the youth as Dave Adams, and I think he's going to do a fine job. So thank you all for being here. I hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you once again to the Hotel Conference Center. Thank you to Harrington Memorial Hospital, and thank you for being here. Have a good day. Thanks.
Mike, you forgot the Polish thing.
Pardon me?
You forgot to say the Polish thing.
I did?
Yeah.
Oh, Polish American War Veterans. That's one of our 4 organizations. Sorry, I didn't mean to do
I'm
that.
sitting with it, I am.
I told you we were getting old. There was one more item that was on the agenda. I wrote it down, but didn't even look at it. Vice President of the Southbridge Veterans Council and Commandant of the Marine Corps League is here today to talk very, very shortly about some recent pins that he would like to distribute today, and I'll give him the microphone.
I want to thank the town of Southbridge and the town councilors for this event, and the hospital, especially the hospital, for this event. I'm, as Mike said, the Commandant of the Marine Corps League for the state of Massachusetts, and also Vice President of the Veterans Association here in Southbridge. The other day I was authorized by the Pentagon to issue an award to every veteran in this room who served from 1955 to 1975. It looks like it'll be about 90% of this room. The award is a Vietnam era Veteran Service Medal. The Congress act of Congress in 2014, they authorized issuing this pin, which I'll give to each one of you to honor your service during the time of the Vietnam era. You did not have to serve in country. However, during that time, you were subject to transfer to that theater. We had Marines at the time in the 50s where they would disappear and wind up in Saigon. So there's been a large contingent of Marines. So the Congress wants to recognize their service, and as I said before, I've been authorized to present this medal. So as I go around the room, if folks will just hold your hand up if you served during that time, I will issue a pin from a grateful nation to your legacy for serving us. Thank you. You hold your hands up.
Now, we'll shut the microphone off.
Is that fast enough?
He's a Marine, so he's a little slow.
Is that the name? Oh, over for the Marines.
Are you ready?
Congratulations for your second.
While Jim passes that out, the mic wasn't shut off. So shame on Mike.
I tried.
But one thing I was asked to come up here and talk about was, you know, we celebrate Armistice Day and Veterans Day. A lot of us it's one of the tougher days of our year. But I want to recognize, and I know the town manager did this already, but Mike, can you come up here for a second? Yeah. I don't have anything special for you, but besides, you gotta look at the pretty face coming up here.
That ship sailed.
I just want to mention that Mike's been the Veteran Service Officer for our town in Charlton and a regional officer for quite some time, and I asked him today how long it's been. He said 28 years. It's pretty tough to find anybody to do that type of job for so long. But one thing you don't understand is, or that we don't see every day, is what he's done for the veterans, for our community and others around us. You know, Mike, on Memorial Day, it's him already prepared to do all the flags and get the Boy Scouts and everybody else together. He sets up the agenda, he sets up the parade, he talks with other veterans, and we all as veterans in here and the spouses that are next to you know how tough we can be. We're opinionated, and Mike has absorbed that over the last 28 years. He's also helped a lot of veterans in need through funds, and he's had to one-on-one deal with individuals like that, and he supported them. Nobody sees that. I would say that a lot of us see that, but a lot of people don't understand what Mike has done over all these years. And I just want to thank you from one veteran to another, because you deserve it. And there's not a lot of times when Mike gets the thank you that he deserves. So a lot of veterans have come to you in need. They have also come to you to talk as a counselor yourself, as a social worker sometimes, as a coordinator, as a manager of any sort, and you're it's just amazing what you've done so many years, and we're going to truly miss you. We are going to pick your brain a lot because, you know, we need to know our history, and Mike has a lot of that history here. So I just, one veteran to another, I want to thank and recognize Mike for everything that he's done for our community and the veterans of this community. So thank you very much.
Yeah, hi.